Hi guys, Ethan from Floor Society. Today we've got something special for you. We've got a shop tour. We're down here at Maranello Autos. We're joined by Will. Will is one of the second year apprentices here. And yeah, he's going to show us about the shop, what they do, what's in here.
Yeah, thanks again for coming down, guys. I was really happy to work with you guys on this project. I love to showcase some of the things that we have here. You don't see them very often, but they do definitely live here on the Gold Coast. There's plenty of them around, and yeah, happy to give you guys a tour. Thanks again for coming down, and we'll have a look inside.
Pleasure. All right, so what do you got in here, Will?
Well, as you can see, got some beautiful classic cars in here. We'll start off here, 2002 360 Spider, arguably probably my personal favorite of all of them. Classic Formula One V8 sound. This one's fitted with a Caprizzo exhaust system and high flow cats. These cars generally make around 400 horsepower flat, unless you step up to the Challenge Stradale, which I believe makes 415. Comes with carbon fiber air intakes, all those cool things. Something interesting about these cars, the intake manifolds have a very special design. They use something called inertia ram tuning. Essentially, in those long runner plenums, each bank will pull from the opposing side in low RPM. The idea of this is as air's traveling through and the valve shuts, air will rebound off that closed valve and travel back up that long runner, hit the top of the intake manifold and travel back down, and as it does that, it will collect air that is naturally passing into the engine. Semi-forced induction in a sense, and obviously as RPM increases, the solenoid is actuated and it references a vacuum tank that these cars have. And as the RPM increases, the engine speed increases, obviously those pulses get faster and faster, so the diaphragm will actually switch to a short runner design just to make the air bounce a bit quicker. Gives it a pretty cool sound. Sometimes you can hear the little shift that they make, especially as you get up in the high RPM ranges. These things naturally rev out to 8.5. Pretty impressive. And yeah, they're fitted with dry sump system. Majority of the Ferraris are, which is that proper race car spec thing. Jumping from the 355s, which is the iteration before it, to these cars, they look very wildly different. Pininfarina wanted to move away from the boxy like pop-up headlight style.
Well, what do you got over here? Now this one, I keep looking at it, it just reminds me of Miami.
Yeah.
And a bit of Fast and Furious, as you were explaining.
The 355 was, as you said, was featured in Fast and the Furious. Brian O'Connor races him and says the iconic line, what's the retail on one of those? More than you can afford, pal, it is a Ferrari. That was a Spider in the movie. This is a GTS, factory target top. Beautiful manual as well, which is pretty nice. They come with that iconic gated shifter, which makes the driving experience surreal. Something different about these cars, factory ITBs, similar to like your Skylines, your RB26s had that ITB setup. Makes them sound really good. And they changed over, I would say maybe a year or so after coming out for the new Euro regulations. So this one that we have here is post-Euro, and that means that they make a little less power, have a bit more emissions related things on them, but they're still a beautiful car. one of people say this is probably one of the most iconic Ferraris there are, and the driving experience is unmatched in these things. They was one of the last cars that Enzo was in collaboration with Ferrari before he passed away. Oh wow. So after the 355, that Pininfarina was independent of Enzo. We have another beautiful classic here. This is the 348 GTS. So these cars, not as well commonly known. They are very cool. A lot of them do come out of Japan, surprisingly, just because they got that nice styling to them. People do love fitting some fancy three-piece wheels to them a lot of the time and lowering them to the floor. Most of these were manual. The 355 was the only one to ever come out with that F1 gearbox style. Up until the 355, they were all manuals. No power steering in this one, which sucks when you're trying to move it around a little bit, but you don't feel it once you start driving. These cars were only a 3.4 litre, and I believe they produce 300 horsepower naturally aspirated. People call these the Baby Rosses, very similar in design to the Testarossa, which is probably the more iconic car of the period. The Wolf of Wall Street, not sure if you've seen that. Yeah, the white Testarossa that he falls out of is that was the iconic Testarossa there, flat 12, pretty awesome. These cars are just a scaled down version of these of that, I would like to say. But yeah, so we'll keep moving along.
What about this one up here, guys?
This is a 308 GTB Dino. If I remember correctly, Enzo built this car for his son after his son passed away, so this was a homage to Dino, his son. These things, 3 litres, I'd say they made around 270 horsepower, which was pretty good for, I'd say, the 1970s. This one came in for just some general maintenance and stuff like that. timing belts, CV shaft rebuild, just a few things that these cars need as they start getting to that age. Still a very nice example of them. It does come with 4 seats, which you can actually fit 4 people in, which is pretty interesting.
What?
So it is a 4-seater, 2-door 4-seater, pretty cool. There was a brief period where they went from carbies to mechanical fuel delivery, fuel injection. That wasn't around for very long, but you'll see it in your Testarossas and your 911s and things like that. That was the bridge between carbureted and electronic fuel injection, which we all know and love today.
Yeah.
These things, quad carbies, I believe they're made by Weber, not the barbecue Weber. I know what you're thinking, not that Weber. They give them a really nice note. A bit of a pain to tune, I can't lie, they're a bit of annoying to tune, which they do end up needing as they obviously get a bit older, the components wear a little bit, and here we specialise in trying to keep these cars alive. But all the parts we use for all these cars, you can only get them from Ferrari. They come from Maranello in Italy, which is pretty cool. And they do still make a lot of the parts for these cars, which is pretty cool.
Really?
So I believe up until, actually I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but they make a lot of the serviceable items for these things, you know, your brakes, your random bushes, seals, things you might not even think of, they probably still have. As you could imagine, Ferrari does not like when you do aftermarket things to their cars, minus exhaust you can generally get away with because they like hearing their cars, obviously.
Yeah. Oh wow, okay, well, what else have we got in here?
This is a beautiful Ferrari California. These cars, I would like to say they inspired a lot of your favorites like your 812s and things like that. Your 599s have a very similar body shape to these cars. I'm probably wrong, but these were the first Ferraris to be direct injected, and they are the first ones to go DCT as well. The DCT was a very, very good upgrade in these cars, going from the mechanical E-gears that you get in the 360s to this was a surreal experience. Driving the E-gears is very similar to driving a manual without a clutch. People refer to them as clutchless manuals.
Okay.
The 360s had a manual gearbox with a hydraulic actuator, so it is the manual conversion of these are pretty straightforward. You just remove that actuator and put linkages in place. This obviously not as common, as far as I'm aware. They never came in a manual because the DCT it's good enough. I would like to say upwards of 450 horsepower, and they are a bit of a bigger car, but you don't really feel it. And these things are very well designed. Carbon ceramic brakes came on pretty much all of them, which is pretty fancy. Not as much fun for the owners, obviously, because it's 10 grand a rotor, upwards of 10 grand a rotor. They also squeak a lot because they are race brakes. So
yeah.
you know, you hear Group 3 cars coming to a stop and they just squeal. They don't need brake changing. The brake pads don't need replacing. It's just the fact that carbon ceramics are very squeaky. Californias were also hard top convertibles. They don't really look like it, but they are in fact convertibles, which is pretty awesome. The engine in them as well is very, very similar to the F430, which came after the 360s, and that engine pretty much pioneered the rest of them all the way up to your SF90s and stuff. They all run off. They went from timing belts to timing chains, direct injection, slightly larger displacement. I believe they're 4.3 litres. They bumped that up a little bit, and then yeah, when they went to the Pistas and the 488s and stuff like that, kept that similar structure, but obviously strapped 2 turbos to them, and they made way more power than any of the natural aspirated ones did. So
yeah. Now, what is this?
This
looks old.
It is very old. It is very old and very, very rare. This is a Ferrari 308 GTB. This is a full fiberglass body. From what I understand, there was only 20 of these delivered to Australia. Probably less of them around now because they're not as flashy as your new ones, but some people do appreciate these classics. The owner of this car is doing a full restoration on it. So we currently have the engine out at PLR Performance, and they are helping us out restore it. This car sat for quite a while and unfortunately fell victim to some cooling system corrosion. A bit devastating for the owner, but you can rest assured when he gets it back, they'll have a nice restored classic Ferrari. This is our engine building room. So in here is where all the magic happens, I guess you can say. We do all of our measuring and assembly in this room. So all state-of-the-art equipment. We do a few things in collaboration with Q&P Racing over in the States. They make us custom billet tools and stands for a lot of our Meditoyo stuff. Majority of the tools in this workshop are snap-on as well. We keep them nice and sanitized in these drawers.
Wow.
So generally speaking, when we get parts in here, they go through a 3-stage cleaning process. As soon as we get them from Maranello, put them through our ultrasonic cleaner, and then give them a bit of an air gun dry. Then we'll put them back in the ultrasonic cleaner, bring them out, brake clean them, air dry, and then once we're content that there's no contaminants on any of the parts, we will put them in these special bags. We have hospital grade air purifiers in here as well, just to keep as many contaminants out as we possibly can. Air cons, all components are measured at 20 degrees to give you the most consistent results. All using Meditoyo tools. Air purifier as well. We also have a fancy pneumatic headstand, which is very, very good for doing a lot of your head work, valve springs, getting your retainers out are a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
This helps out quite a bit with that. As you can see, QMP Racing made us our custom crank stand too, so we can help measure the roughness of the finish on the cranks. Another cool thing we have here, head gaskets we get custom made by this company here, and most people don't know, but a common failure point on the 360s are the head gaskets. They fail right in between the piston walls here, and so what this guy does is he reinforces the middle of them as a bit of a preventative thing to stop any kind of head gasket failure, and they work quite well. So there you
that's
go.
awesome. Wow. Now I noticed there was one more car out there.
Yeah.
We haven't had a look at. Do you want to go have a chat about it?
Yeah, we can go have a look at
No,
that,
let's go
of course.
check.
This 355 came in for routine maintenance. It is the timing belts. Most people don't know about these cars. One thing about these cars is the Ferrari recommends you do timing belts to them every 3 years, which does result in the engine coming out. Process generally takes, just timing alone, maybe takes around 24 hours to do. We use a lot of our degree wheels and dial indicators and things like that to try and get the most precise measurement we can on them. I'll bring you around to the front here. Whenever we do these jobs, because it's obviously quite a big job, and while you're there you may as well, as some people say, we get these gears zinc plated, makes them look nice and pretty. Unfortunately with these cars, the only people that do see these are the mechanics that pull them back out. So it is a nice surprise for them when they get to drop the engine. They go, oh, wow, this looks fantastic.
Looks pretty.
Yeah, another one of those things to help keep these cars alive and well and nice and fresh. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to come down and have a look at our beautiful cars. We will try and get out there a bit more with these things, potentially attend more events and things like that. So you might see us around.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming down.
It's a
Pleasure to
pleasure.
have you here.